What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be working on my Tacoma again. I got most of my parts in for the onboard air system, so I'd like to get started on that and see where we end up. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the parts we'll be using, and then we'll get started with this. Alright, so for this air system, I'm going to do it a little bit different than the ones I've done in the past. I want this to run itself and eliminate the need to be down by each tire with the air chuck and an air pressure gauge, going back and forth, getting the tire to the desired level. So basically what I'll end up doing is running 4 lines to each tire. Those will go to an air manifold with a air pressure switch that is set at the desired level I want all 4 tires to air up to. And you'll hit the switch to air up the tires, and it'll air up to that desired level, and then shut the system off, and all 4 tires will be equally aired up to that pressure. So for this system, we're going to be using a couple Smitty-built electric air compressors. That is the part number and specs on those. We'll also be using some push connect 1/4-inch fittings, as well as an electric solenoid, a couple air manifolds with pressure switches, and then this is going to be the big electric solenoid that controls the air compressors. So at the moment, I want to get started making a plate that will hold both air manifolds and these electrical blocks and the solenoid for the 2 compressors. So I'm going to end up making that out of aluminum and hopefully find a good spot for that in the toolbox. So let's go ahead and get started doing that, and I'll show you guys where I'm at in a little bit. Alright, so I'm getting ready to drill the holes for where I want the air chucks to come out of the toolbox. So I ended up making a little template here, and then that just goes on the inside of the box here, and I mark the holes for where I need to drill, and I'll go ahead and start drilling those so I have through holes for the air chuck. Also, side note, if you do a lot of fab work and you don't have one of these little center punches, make sure to pick one of them up from Harbor Freight. They're not too expensive. They work pretty simple. You just put it on the hole down here, and then you punch it, and it'll click and put a little center punch hole so it keeps the drill bit centered when you're drilling. Alright, so I got the air chucks coming out of the toolbox all finished up. I just ended up drilling some holes, and I used these through couplers and put the air chucks on the outside. And then on the inside, I put some 1/4-inch push lock fittings, which will have air line ran from those fittings up to the air manifolds. Alright, so I've been working on a plate to mount the air manifolds, and I want the plate to sit in this general area. So I cut it in a square to fit in between these frame rails, and then notched this out. I'm going to bend this up so it kind of fits in there around this. This is what I got so far for the plate. And I'm going to go over here to my brake that I have and remove some of these teeth and bend it up. Alright, so I've been working on the plate a little bit. I actually had to change it around because the piece that I bent earlier wasn't going to leave enough room to make this bent piece. I want this here so I can bolt it to the side. And this is kind of how I want the layout. I'll decide the final layout once it's all bent and in place. But at the moment, I want to work towards getting this bent up. It'll create a little divider from the rest of the box, and this will all kind of be contained in this area. Alright, so I got the plate all put in. This piece is all bent now. I marked all my holes and got them drilled all along here on the back side and the front side, and then the side there. So now I'm getting ready to drill the holes bigger so I can put the riv nuts in, which are these little guys. You just drill the holes out, and then you put them in there and use this crimping tool to crimp them down, and then that makes it to where you can put just a regular bolt in there. So those work really good. I recommend getting those if you have the chance. I like to use those on a lot of sheet metal stuff, so we'll go ahead and get started doing that. Alright, so I got the riv nuts all put in. they just go in those holes there and they're crimped in. So now I'm getting ready to put the plate in place and see how it fits. Alright guys, not really sure why I left off last in the video. It's been a couple days since I've been working on this. I got busy with work, but I got the air compressors all mounted. I ended up mounting them just straight through the bottom of the toolbox. So for now that'll work, and if they end up needing more of a brace or they're vibrating too much, I'll add some bracing in there. So right now I'm working on getting the air manifolds mounted. I got all my fittings put in these, so they're ready to bolt down, and then get the solenoid and the power distribution blocks bolted down. And then I can get this tray all cleaned up and put it in the toolbox, and then start routing my lines for the air compressor as well as my power lines. So I'm going to go ahead and get started doing that. Alright guys, I'm getting ready to call it a night. I got work early in the morning, but got quite a bit done. The air compressors are all mounted in there, trays in there, and I got the air manifolds, the power distribution block, and solenoid mounted. I also added some holes over here with some rubber grommets for the air lines from the compressors, as well as the power cables. So what's left is run the lines to the chucks that come outside the box, and then I still need to make lines go into each tire and run the power cables. That's going to be it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos related to the Tacoma and the crew cab. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.